Yo, what's up, boys and girls? This is Jeremy from Jay's Innovation Garden of Peach, capital of the state. Jay, you don't look like you got no clothes on to be in the paint booth. No, this is my Sitka gear. It's hunting season, boys and girls. But let me go in here, get on my battleship, and let's talk about the Mustang. All right. Bam! All right. So this is for all you YouTube guys. So the Mustang is been blasted. And it was blasted with medium to light recyclable non-silicated glass. All right. So I hope this answers a bunch of questions. So my guy, Michael Smith from Carolina Dosas Blaster over in China Grove, go to his Facebook page, check him out, send him a message. He will go anywhere in the state of North Carolina. He will go in Virginia. He will go in South Carolina. If the job's big enough, he'll go. So he did the F-150 yesterday, did the bed, did the tailgate, and then once he got that done, I brought it straight to the booth, epoxied, taped it up, sprayed CRE 321 epoxy, and then let that flash for about 60 minutes because I had it about 75, 78 degrees in here in the booth. So I let it set about 60 minutes flash time. It was still tacky enough where I could get, it was still pliable and dry enough where I could get up in it and walk in the bed without tracking it with my flat tennis shoes on. So I guess you could use some golf cleats if you wanted to. So with that being said, got the bed done, and it's 88 F-150 from Utah. So it took 6 liters. So that is a kit and a half. So it mixes, the quartz mixes 8 ounces of hardener for each unit or each liter. So what I do is I put it on the shaker first and I shake it with no hardener. So let's see if I can put my phone up so you boys. So I just hold it. So I put it on the shaker and I shake it for, make sure the lid's tight. And I drop it in this tube and I shake it for about 5, 8, 10 minutes. Now inside my mixing room, I have it about 65 degrees. So everything stays pliable and nothing gets cold. So shake it for about 5 to 8 minutes. And why do you do that? Well, this stuff sets on the shelf, so it settles at the bottom. And if you don't shake it, pre-shake it, and then you put the hardener in it and you shake it, it's not going to be consistent. Okay, it's not going to be consistent. So what you need to do is you need to pre-shake it, then add your hardener, which is 8 ounces of activator. Then you shake that for about 2 to 4 minutes. Shake that really, really good. Then go in the booth and spray it. Now, I got a video on my Facebook page, talks about how to spray bed liner. If you want it really, really coarse, then you run the pressure down, like 40, 60 PSI, and that'll give you a real hard texture. If you want it light texture, then you run your air pressure up, say 60 to 75. If you want it really, really fine, then run it up to about 85 to 100. So the way I do beds is I do all the seams first, all the corners, all the nooks and crannies. I do those first. I start at the front. I do all the corners, the nooks up underneath. Then I do the headboard, and then I work my way down on both sides of the wheel wells. I come all the way back. I do not do the floor. I do the floor last. So once I do the floor, it usually takes 3 kits to do the headboard, all the seams, trim it out, and all the way down on both sides. It usually takes about 3 liters to do that. Nice, consistent, 50% overlap. Then I come and I start doing the floor. And I do the floor all the way across. We'll do a 50% overlap. Come all the way back across the floor, and then that usually takes about two liters. All right. So now you're up to 5. There's only 5 in a kit. All right. And this F-150, it actually, I misspoke yesterday. I said 6. It actually took 7. Then I mixed up another one, and then I did a control coat over the whole bed. And a control coat is where I run the air pressure up to about 90 psi. I hold the gun back about 2 to 3 foot, and I do a control coat, just like if you was doing heavy metallics and heavy pearls, especially heavy metallics. Do it a control coat, so that makes it nice, even transition, and there's nothing to catch the eye. And I do it different directions, and then I take the sunlight, which I know it's overkill. I take the sunlight and I shine it different ways to make sure there's no shadowing, even it's black. Then the last leader, it goes on the tailgate. Now the last leaders, the whole tailgate's not going to take a hole, but go around the edges, trim you out, and then do it nice, consistent, and then let that set off for about 10 minutes, maybe 5 to 10 minutes. Then I back up off of it about 2 foot with the last part of it, and I do a control coat on the tailgate, so all of it kind of transitions and looks good. And if there's any left, I just do a fogging on the rest of it, and I use every bit of it I can use. That's how I do beds. Now, some guys, I have done them, and I've sprayed clear over them. Well, if you're going to clear it, wait about 30 minutes. Give it a good flash time, about 30 minutes, let it gas off, maybe 45 minutes at 70, 75 degrees, and then mix up you some clear, and then you can clear it, and that'll give you the shininess and a little bit extra protection. But not everybody wants to pay for that, because it is an expense. So that's how I do bed liner. So once the bed liner was done, I run the radiant tube heater up. I run it up to about 100 degrees. It got about 95. I let it run about 95 degrees for about an hour. Then I turn the temp back down, and then I let it gas off, and then I let it cool on its own, and then I pulled it out. I untaped it, and then I pulled it out, took it in the big shop. Once it got in the big shop, I turn on a box fan. The heat's on in the big shop, so I turn on a box fan to keep the airflow moving. I actually set a box fan on top of the truck, so as the fumes are gassing out, or as the isocyanates are gassing out of the bed liner, the Walmart box fan is blowing across it. Therefore, it's pushing it away from it, so it don't settle back on it. Could it fish eye, or not fish eye? Could it solvent pop? Anything can solvent pop with isocyanates and chemicals, but I've never had a bed liner to solvent pop. But if the gases or dieback. The reason why you boys are having dieback on your clear coat and stuff is you're shutting your stuff down, and what's happening is the isocyanates are coming out and it's fuming up, and there's nowhere for it to go, so it comes right back down and it lays that film on top, and that's where you're getting your dieback and your solvent pop most of the time. So airflow is key. So once that was done, we finished blasting. We blasted a set of rims, and then they are aluminum. So they got put up, wrapped up. They're going to the powder coater. They're going to be a wicked color. I cannot wait for those. Those things are going to be bananas. Then we jumped on the Mustang, and he did the Mustang. He did the doors, the fenders, did all the pieces that was took off of the body, put those in the booth, and then he went to the shell and done the shell. He done the bottom first. We rolled it over on one side. He did the bottom. Then we rolled it over the other way and did the bottom. If you go to my Facebook page, you can see some videos on there. There's a live video showing him blasting last night in the LED lights that I have put up. And then he finished blasting it. Now I'm gonna walk around the car. We're at the 10-minute mark, and I know I don't want to lose a lot of people, because probably people if you're still with me, I appreciate you. Most of you probably already left, because people's attention span's pretty much gone after that. So everything looks really, really good on the Mustang. Got some issues right here. Got some issues down here on the bottom of the quarter. That'll be all patched. The door is pretty gnarly. I might just see if I can get a skin and just reskin it, because it's got a lot of stuff going on. I don't want to replace the whole door because it is the original door, and the door structure itself is good. It's just the skin. Down here at the bottom, you can see down here at the bottom, it's got a lot of stuff going on down here, especially on the body lines where somebody drilled, like somebody drilled into the body line and then filled it in with filler. Now, this is an old repair because the filler has got a lot of talc in it, so it's old. Front fender's got some stuff going on right here, but I think I can get in here and hammer and dolly that. The hood looks really good, what I could see. Now, this stuff is not epoxied. Now, everybody's gonna say, Jay, you better get that stuff epoxy because rust grows immediately. It is exactly right. But the humidity is 20% in here, and I got the heat on low, so it's keeping it dry. Nobody finger touched it to death. Everything looks good. The window channel right here at the back glass, got a little rot right here. I can make a piece here. Overall, I'm really surprised it's not in the worst shape that it was, because you got to remember, I've already replaced the upper and lower cowl, the firewall, and a full floor pan. The trunks are good. The trunk looks good, and everybody wants to know what it was. It's this right here. Jay, that's in your booth. It's okay. It'll all get washed down with a pressure washer. So I'm real excited about this. So what we're going to do is, the client said, I trust you, do what you need to do. I've run some ideas by him and give me the green light. So I'm going to roll this thing over tomorrow after I go put some meat in the refrigerator. And in the mornings, thank you, Sitka. I'm going to roll this thing over. I'm going to start doing all the stuff on the bottom. I'm going to seam seal it all with seam sealer. And once all that gets done, I'm going to order the paint, and then I'm going to epoxy this bad boy, and then I'm going to go ahead and bed line the bottom of this thing. Every bit of it except the engine bay. Now, everything's going to be bed lined on the outside where you can't see it. Underneath the car be bed lined. I'm going to reduce my bed liner by 10%. That's going to give me a light texture, and then I'm going to epoxy it, then I'm going to bed line it, and then I'm going to body color it. So I'm going to do it in a body color. We did the Molly Camaro in 2018 when I worked at Petty's for Apex for the giveaway for Molly. So if you want to see that car that me and my buddy did all the paint and body work on, Google the 68 Camaro for Molly Aftermarket Performance in 2018. Did all that, and that's how we did that car. I was a little skeptical of one. I was like, man, you want to do that? That's going to look like a goat, that's going to look like a diamond in a goat's ass. But it actually really turned out really nice. And then right here at the firewall break, we did all this slick, and then all this in here will be bed lined on the outside, but everything on the inside will be body color and be slick. So I'm at a 13-minute mark. I appreciate every single one of you. If there's something that you want to talk about, or you have a question about something, you don't know how something is, shoot me a message and give me your feedback, and I will make a video on it showing you how I would do it, and maybe I can help somebody out, because that's what we're all about, fellas. We're all in it together. We're all in it together. We're at just different levels. Just think about it as a video game. We're all in it to help each other, and I appreciate every single one of you. And remember what I said. Oh yeah, by the way, I had some people asking me about my son's scholarship. It's at Randolph Community College. I'll put the link in the video. We lost our son in 2019 in January, unexpectedly. It crushed us. We're still dealing with it every day, but I put each foot forward, and there's a lot of demons that we deal with every day. But we started a scholarship, and the scholarship at the college is to keep Owen's memory alive. Keep Owen's memory alive so he can live through others, because he won't ever be anything but 6 years old. He won't be an ice cream man. He won't be a paint man. He won't be a body man. He won't be an executive. He won't be anything. He won't never get his heart broke. He won't never get married. He won't never have kids. He won't never get his driver's license. He won't never get his first ticket. he won't get none of that. So we started a scholarship, and the scholarship's open to everybody at Randolph Community College. So you apply for the scholarship. The foundation handles that. We have no control over that. I'm just doing all I can do to raise money for the scholarship. And the more monies that we have in the scholarship, the more that the school can give out to somebody so they can better themselves, and they'll know a little bit about Owen. He's going to be in the school's magazine and next spring, telling his story. And the thing about it is a piece of Owen will be in somebody's memory, and they'll say, you know what, 20 years ago, this family lost their son, and we applied for the scholarship, and I got the scholarship, and I ended up being a photographer, and that's the reason why. And his memory would live on through other people. So plus we're keeping his memory alive. We're doing something for the glory of God to help him, and we're also helping other people, and also we're doing like we're supposed to do. So remember, you never know what somebody's going through. You don't never know what nobody's demons are, and it don't cost a dime to be kind to folks. So don't worry about the man up the road. Don't worry about the man down the road. Sweep off your own front porch, worry about sweeping off anybody else's. You put God first. Let the loose end drag. Peace, love, and chicken grease. I'm out.